I said it, are you here for the truth? Yeah, girls.
Boom. Hey everyone, hope y'all are doing good. Let's jump right into it. Reasons not to lock your hair.
Girl, don't do it.
You want to rock retwists all the time. I'm gonna tell you right now, Exhibit A. You are not going to have your locks retwisted all the time and think that you're about to have healthy locks for a long time. It's not gonna happen. Rethink your decision. Okay, you might want to reconsider doing that. It is unhealthy. It's gonna put too much tension on your scalp. Your hair doesn't really get to breathe. Your roots can thin out, and it can also slow down your locking process a little bit. Because think about it. When your hair is retwisted, the hair is tightly bound up like this. If it's always in a retwist, the hair doesn't get a chance to expand and create knots on itself, which is what locks are. It's hair knotting on itself. Because that constant, when your hair is wet, it expands, and then the hair is knotting on itself, is twisting on itself. But if you always have a fresh retwist, that opportunity is limited. So if you're trying to be rocking a retwist all the time, you think that's about to be you, locks might not be for you. Another reason not to lock your hair. You are someone who cares about what people have to say. You're going to receive a lot of opinions about your hair. Take myself for example, because I can only speak for myself. Before, when I was a loose natural, I got a lot of compliments. People wanted to know how I did certain styles and whatnot. When I locked my hair, I started getting a lot of backhanded compliments. And this is not to discourage you, but I just want to be realistic with you so you know what to expect. Especially when you're going through your hair is going through a lot stage. I like to call it the a lot stage because ugly stage just doesn't sound right. You're seeing your hair transform before your eyes. There's nothing ugly about that. So just that a lot is going on stage with your hair. Some people are going to be telling you you look rough. Some people are going to be telling you you need a retwist. This one is really funny for me. Some people are going to ask when you're going to take them out. Like what? You know? But that's just something you have to expect. And most of the time, these kind of comments are going to come from people who don't have locks, or they never had locks, or maybe they did have locks, but they hated it. It's going to come from people like that. But again, this is not to discourage you, because there's also going to be a lot of people who are very intrigued with your hair. They want to know your experience. Maybe they're looking to lock their hair as well, and you're kind of giving them an idea of what to expect. You also receive a lot of compliments. It's not going to be all negative, so that's something to expect. Now, this one is more for the ladies or anybody who identifies as like more feminine type of energy. You're going to have days when you feel like you don't look really feminine. And this one is like, ooh. Me personally, my go-to was headscarves. I was wearing headscarves every single day. During that a lot is going on stage, I had days when I look in the mirror and I'd be like, yo, I look like a little boy right now. The crazy shrinkage, the frizz, the locks are this huge, like, you know, just a lot going on. And I'll even tell y'all a story. I went for a Walmart run one time. And this was during the winter, so it was cold, and, you know, it was one of those days where I wasn't feeling too cute with my hair, you know? So I just threw on something. I threw on some sweatpants, a hoodie, a baseball cap, and my winter parka. I go to Walmart. I get to the self-checkout. There are staff who are directing people, telling them which stalls to go to. Like, hey, go to number 5, go to number 10, whatever, right? When she got to me, she said, sir, number 7. I chuckled a little bit, but I didn't say anything, you know? I didn't say anything. But after I was done and I got back into my car, I said, yo, somebody called me a sir. Somebody just called me a sir. I was like, dang, that hurts a little bit. I was like, what? So yeah, you're gonna have days when you feel like you don't look so feminine. So if that's something that's really gonna bother you, you might not want to lock your hair. Another reason not to lock your hair, you want to do updo styles all the time. You want to do tight ponytails. You want to do slick backs, everything just snatched to the gods and goddesses of locks. No. No, 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 and no again. You don't do it. I'm telling you right now. You're gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer. You're gonna struggle. When you do those styles, most of the tension might just be on your edges, like the perimeter, right? When you have locks, that tension can be everywhere.
Oh my God, bro.
Because all of your hair is sectioned off into a lock. If this lock in the middle is pulled a little bit too tight, guess what, baby? You're gonna feel that. And it's not gonna feel good. If I go out, I might do a little half up, half down, but a lot of the time my hair is just down like this, and I take a headscarf and I just wrap it around on top and I'm out the door. But my hair is just down, chilling. You don't wanna be putting it up in styles all the time. It's not a good idea. I don't recommend that. Now, this reason, it kind of depends on the person. You like to lay your edges all the time. First of all, it depends on the kind of product that you're using, and it depends on how often you do this. I find that since locking my hair, I don't really lay my edges anymore. And if I do, I'm going to use very little product, and by the end of the night, I'm gonna wash it out, because that can cause a lot of buildup in your locks. And a lot of unnecessary buildup is also gonna add to the weight of your locks, and it can bring down the overall health of your locks in the front. And I'm not saying you should not lay your edges, you can, but if you're going to do it, be very careful about how you're going to be laying your edges. Another reason not to lock your hair, you think that once you have locks, you don't have to do anything anymore. No. You're wrong. You're wrong. I don't know what it is about this common misconception about locks, where people, they see locks and they just see indestructible.
This is Sparta!
Like, no, because at the end of the day, it's still your hair. Just because it's in locks doesn't mean it suddenly gained the strength of 1,000 forces. Like, it still needs that TLC. It still needs loving. If anything, you need to be more gentle with your hair when it's locked, because you're more susceptible to having it dry out, build up, and breakage within the locks. Like, you need to still take care of your locks. You still need to moisturize them. You still need to maintain your wash routine. You still need to be gentle with your hair when you have locks. You should still be covering your hair. All these things continue. The only thing that's different is you're not detangling no more, and you're using less product because you don't want buildup. But apart from that, your hair still needs loving attention when it is locked. Another reason not to lock your hair, you don't like to wrap your hair. You like to roll around in the sand and then take a nap on top of your bed sheets, hair all exposed like that. Live your life, do you, but if that's how you're gonna go about the care of your locks, you might not wanna lock it, because let me tell you something. Not covering your locks, it's a no. Everything about it is a no. It's giving negative. Like, just don't do that to yourself. Don't set yourself up like that. You know, like, why would you want to play like that? You know, is what I'm saying. You don't, let me tell you something. Lint is the devil, and you're going to realize it once you lock your hair. It is just bad. The only time my locks are not covered when I'm at home is when I'm Exhibit A, filming, or I have somebody coming over, or I'm washing my locks. I just washed my locks and they need to air dry, or I'm about to moisturize them, or I'm about to go out, or it's a really hot day and I need some breeze on my scalp, which is very rare that I will do that. But if it's not any of those reasons, my hair is covered. Don't set yourself up. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If you don't like to cover your hair, do not get locks. Another reason not to lock your hair. This is probably one of the most important reasons. You want your locks to look like someone else's locks. No, don't do that to yourself. There's too many variables involved. Some people will go as far as wanting to know how many locks a person has, what their hair texture is, what was their starting method, what is their maintenance method, like do they retwist, do they interlock, what kind of parts this person has. It doesn't matter how much information you acquire about somebody's locks and how many of those things that you do on your own head. There is no way that your locks are going to look like the next person's locks. All of my locks look different from the next locks. They're very individualistic. I got locks that are lumpy, some locks are straight, some locks are really thick, some are really small, some have a curve to them, some have curls at the end. Like, even if I were to comb out my locks, which I'm not doing anytime soon, but even if I were to comb out my locks and start over, my next set of locks is not going to look like my first set of locks. And that's on my own head. So if you're looking at somebody's locks right now and you're thinking, I want my locks to look like their locks, you might want to rethink locking your hair altogether. From the moment you decide I'm going to lock my hair and you go on that journey, you don't know how they're going to look. My locks are still going through changes and I'm 16 months locked. This is not the final form, is what I'm saying. So if that's how you're looking at it, locking your hair might not be for you. And with that, that is the end of this video. If any of these reasons struck you a certain way, you might not want to lock your hair, or you might want to reconsider. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Do you think you see us? You don't really see us.